What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight, NXT is back in Full Sail University. Mauro Ranallo is back behind the microphone at the commentary desk. And Johnny Gargano continues to just make everybody smile with his dastardly attacks. I absolutely love it, man. What a show tonight. It's getting things nice and ready for TakeOver Phoenix. I can't wait. Believe it or not, we actually have a TakeOver this Saturday from Blackpool, England. NXT TakeOver UK. And a lot of people have asked me, JD, are you going to cover the TakeOver show that's happening on Saturday? Absolutely. I will be covering it. No questions asked. And we got 3 title matches on that show that I can't wait to see, man. It's going to be a great afternoon on Saturday, so look forward to the review as soon as that show goes off the air. NXT tonight, man. Fresh new set of tapings. I might as well make it known here. I did tweet it out on Monday. I will be down in Orlando, Florida, the Tuesday after the Royal Rumble. I will be arriving in Orlando around 6:30 Eastern Time. And I will be checking into my Airbnb. I will be getting myself some cold beverages and a nice meal. I will be reviewing Smackdown from the Airbnb. And then I will be attending Full Sail University and the fresh new set of tapings right after the Royal Rumble at Full Sail. It's my first NXT live event ever. And it's my first time visiting Full Sail University, man. I can't wait. I will be holding a meet and greet that morning, afternoon, right before I got to head over to Full Sail. I'm not sure where I'm holding the meet and greet right now, but for everybody that I met down in Orlando when I was down there the last time for WrestleMania, I hope to see all you crazy motherfuckers out there once again. I will keep you guys updated, so please follow me on Twitter at JD from NY206. Instagram as well, same thing. JD from NY206. I will be posting the information on both of those social media platforms. Can't wait to get down to Orlando. It's fucking freezing here on the East Coast, and I can't wait to get down south and feel the warmth and experience the champ, Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano live at Full Sail University. Speaking of Johnny Gargano, also, I feel like I have to make mention of this here. Might as well, being that we're talking about Johnny Gargano. I will be attending, not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that. I think it's January 19th. Evolve. I believe it's Evolve 120, if I'm not mistaken. But I will be attending the Evolve show on Saturday, January 19th in Queens. Johnny Gargano is going one-on-one against Austin Theory, and I will be there. I will be hopefully doing a little meet and greet with you guys if you want to show up to the show. All my New York folk. I will be trying to get a picture and a word or two with Johnny Gargano. I would love to if I can. But I will be there. So if you guys are attending that show, if you're in the New York area that weekend and you want to see some great wrestling, I wasn't going to miss Johnny Gargano. Might as well do it, man. Johnny Gargano versus Austin Theory at Evolve. I will be there. So make sure you guys come and say what's up. I will be there for sure that Saturday night. Like I said, man, NXT got the road on to Phoenix, off and running. We had a great opening segment with Johnny Gargano and Ricochet before Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa just crashed the scene. Great match with Bianca, Bel-Air, and Nikki Cross. We're going to go over that and my thoughts on that. Fabien Eichner and Marcel Barthel, the European Union. I was very surprised to see these guys on NXT, man, and I loved what I seen tonight from both of those guys. And then EC3 versus Adam Cole. And both Nikki Cross and EC3, man, this was their swan songs in NXT. Both are now headed to the main roster. I'm assuming they will both be in their respective Royal Rumbles. And then we've seen the War Raiders try and hunt down the Undisputed Era, because they will be vying for the Tag Team Championships at TakeOver Phoenix. All in all, it was a very, very entertaining show tonight from Full Sail University, man. Let's get into it. I want to play the promo. I already got it queued up. I loved what happened here. Johnny Gargano lays out Ricochet with a surprise super kick in the middle of Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa just beating the shit out of each other. I can't wait to see what happens between all 4 of these guys in their respective matches. But this is what happened to open the show tonight from NXT.
I heard what Tommaso Ciampa said a few weeks ago, but don't get confused about a moment in the cage that meant nothing. It was a one-time thing. It was a one-time thing, and it will never happen again. Hey, as far as I'm concerned, you're still a piece of trash with a championship that I want.
You know, Johnny has gotten a lot better as far as promo goes, man. When Johnny is angry and when Johnny is direct, he's a damn good fucking promo. I really enjoy his promo work. Ricochet, on the other hand, still is rough around the edges. Everybody says the same shit to me every single week. But I'm loving Johnny's work, man. Johnny is claiming he will be a champion, whether it be the North American champion or the NXT champion in 2019. I think it's a little overdue for a championship, period, for Johnny Gargano.
Wins and championships. Wins and championships. There is another championship out there. And as soon as you spoke this idea into the world of Johnny Gargano versus Ricochet for the North American Championship.
Take my money, bruh. Take my money.
Ricochet fired back at me. He fired at me. He said, and I quote, "If Johnny wants the smoke, he's right here." Rick.
Did he really say that?
I don't want the smoke.
Rick.
But if I want the North American Championship, I'm going to take it.
When it comes to TakeOver, especially NXT TakeOver Phoenix, there will be one and only man who walks out and remains NXT's North American champion. And you're looking at him.
Wins and championships, Johnny, you said it yourself. That's what this is all about. Wins and
Hey, Tommaso, how about you do me a favor and just shut up, okay? This is about me and him.
And Ciampa looked at him like,
Get out of
bitch,
here.
I helped you
Not
be
about
black.
you.
I helped you be black. What are you telling me to shut up for? Exactly. Aleister Black shows up on the big screen.
Tommaso, I sincerely hope that you are more concerned with me than you are being concerned with grooming your little dog of war. Because unlike him, I pose a real threat to you. In NXT TakeOver
Man, Aleister Black.
Phoenix, I will make you fade to black.
Aleister Black is going to be so good on the main roster, man. Lights go out, lights come back on, and Aleister Black is standing behind Ciampa, and they absolutely destroy one another, man. What a kick by Aleister Black sends Ciampa rolling to pretty much. So fucking great, man. That is what I call a hot open Raw. What are you doing, man? That's what you call a hot open. Now, what they cut out on WWE's YouTube channel, Black and Ciampa were fighting all the way to the announcer's desk on the stage. The announcers had all their shit destroyed. Ciampa was about to go through the table with looked like a brainbuster by Aleister Black, and then Ciampa somehow weaseled his way out and ran to the back, and Aleister Black chased on after Tommaso Ciampa. One telling thing about the intensity between those two men, I'm loving the intensity between Aleister Black and Tommaso Ciampa. This may be, outside of Johnny Gargano and what we've seen, this is going to be Tommaso Ciampa's most physical match. And I think Aleister Black, this is going to be his most physical match, period. Because of the way the nature of the storyline has gone so far. And he's seeking revenge, and Aleister Black is going to do everything he can to get his title back, a title that he was robbed of. And I'm loving the intensity between those two, man. I can't wait to see what happens between Black and Ciampa at TakeOver. Johnny Gargano, man, I had flashbacks of fucking Shawn Michaels and Hulk Hogan when Shawn Michaels super kicked Hulk Hogan on Monday Night Raw before their showdown at SummerSlam many, many, many years ago. I love that. Out of nowhere, it was just genuinely like, what the fuck? Oh, shit. Johnny's watching everything transpire between Ciampa and Black. Ricochet is like, well, he's in the ring, right? I don't know why you're still in the ring with Johnny Gargano after what the guy's done to guys like Aleister Black and, what he's done to just anybody that's gotten in his way lately. He's been very physical. This is not the same Johnny Gargano that we know. This is not Johnny Wrestling. This is a Johnny Wrestling that's going to be a little bit more vindictive, a little bit more, hands-on, taking what he thinks he deserves. So Ricochet standing there behind Johnny, and then after all this shit is over with, Johnny's like, all right, fuck it, and he super kicks Ricochet completely into oblivion, and I absolutely loved it. This was a great open, a very hot open, and Takeover, man, just based on these two matches, holy shit. It is going to be a can't-miss show just between those two championship matches, and it's about time, honestly, that the North American Championship is getting some much-needed love at TakeOver. This is going to do the title well, this is going to do Ricochet well, and this is going to do Johnny well. And I don't know if WWE is going to give Johnny the title. I don't see Johnny needing the North American Championship. I honestly love Johnny more than anybody, just like you guys do. But honestly, when you're looking at it, Ricochet needs this win more than Johnny does. Johnny's a made man in NXT. The guy's pretty much untouchable. He's bulletproof. And we all know Johnny wants Ciampa. So I think Ricochet needs this win more than Johnny does. Either way you look at it, it's going to be two Match of the Year candidates already. TakeOver in Philadelphia, 2018, January. They produced two of the best matches in all of WWE all year. Andrade Cien Almas and Johnny Gargano, and Aleister Black with Adam Cole in that Extreme Rules match. I think the same thing is going to happen in Phoenix. Both of these matches, Ciampa and Black, Johnny and Ricochet, are going to be two of the best matches that we see all year, and probably both of these matches will end up on my best of 2019. When I talk about my best matches of 2019, they'll probably be in the top three. And coincidentally enough, Johnny and Aleister Black are two of those names from last year that are repeated again this year. Only difference is Ricochet is replaced, or Adam Cole is replaced with Ricochet, and Andrade Cien Almas is replaced with Tommaso Ciampa. It's going to be a great fucking show, man. I can't wait to see what happens. That's the way the show opened up tonight for NXT. We went right into a women's match between Bianca Belair and Nikki Cross. The first time these women went at it was fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And Bianca Belair is on her way to doing big things in WWE, man. This woman, I've monitored her since the Mae Young Classic. And I knew she was going to be a big deal when she went one-on-one with Kairi Sane at the Mae Young Classic in year one. I knew there were big things coming for Bianca Belair. This woman has everything. She's got the look, she's got the athleticism, she's got the in-ring ability, she's a great storyteller. She sells incredibly well for a woman that's not been doing this at all for a very long time. And I'm getting fantasy booking scenarios in my head, man. You put Bianca Belair in a ring when she's ready. She is fucking great now. You can imagine when she is ready and just wanting to burst onto the main roster scene. Demoted to the main roster, the way things are happening right now. But burst onto the main roster scene. Can you imagine the matches that we've seen from Bianca already? And can you imagine what she's going to do when she's a little bit more seasoned, a little bit more of a veteran with Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch? Can you imagine Bianca Belair versus Charlotte Flair on SmackDown Live for the Women's Championship? Holy shit, man. This woman is going to be an absolute megastar. I don't know how you could look at this woman and fuck this up. WWE has a fucking Christmas gift all ready to go, wrapped with a nice big bow on top, presenting itself right to the creative team. No Santa Claus needed here, man. This is going to be something that is virtually impossible to fuck up. But this is WWE Creative. This is Vince McMahon. I don't put anything past these fucking people. But I'm saying Bianca Belair She's had it since day one. And now look at her removed from the first Mae Young Classic. Look at how much better she has become as an in-ring performer. She is going to be it. When you talk about how hot Becky Lynch is, wait till Bianca Belair hits the main roster scene, man. We're going to be talking about Bianca, and everyone's going to be all over Bianca. Believe me. Nikki Cross, on the other hand, man, Nikki Cross is in this limbo, and I know you guys feel the same way about it. Nikki Cross is in this limbo where WWE doesn't know what's going on with her. They didn't know what was going on with Nikki Cross before the call-up, and now we are in the know that Nikki Cross is being called up to either Raw or SmackDown, preferably SmackDown. But Nikki Cross has been in this limbo where the decision was made to call her up. Before that, I'm sure that WWE had no idea what to do with Nikki Cross. She was just stuck in the middle of a lot of nothing. And she's been losing left and right. You know, 1 week she's supposed to be on NXT. The next week she's debuting on SmackDown Live in the UK against Becky Lynch. And then she's back down to NXT to just kind of fill a void and just wait her spot to open up on the main roster. And now she's coming to the main roster, and we still don't know where she's going to land. But she's been stuck in NXT for all this time, and she's been losing. And then she showed up on the main roster and lost to Becky Lynch, which is understandable, but not something I would have decided upon in that moment with Nikki Cross. And now she's coming, and I hope that all these losses translate to a win and a nice solid push right out of the gate on the main roster, wherever she goes, Raw or SmackDown. Like I said, preferably SmackDown. I think SmackDown could really use her, and I think Nikki Cross versus Asuka would be a phenomenal test for Asuka going into WrestleMania. That is just my opinion on that. Nikki Cross and Asuka for the Women's Championship at WrestleMania. There's no better woman for the job, and Asuka, believe it or not, when she was down in NXT, who gave her the fight of her life? Who came the closest to beat Asuka in NXT? It is this woman right here in Nikki Cross. Too many losses, not really a good look for her, and she's done everything that WWE has asked of her. I honestly hope that they have some sort of plan for Nikki Cross on the main roster, but it's one of those wrong place at the wrong time. I'm stuck in a limbo type of deals with Nikki Cross. And here again, she takes a loss to Bianca Belair. This was a great fucking match. This is another one of those things where, you know, the women are outshining the men. This was the best match of the night. This was the best match of the night. The women are outshining the men mostly every single show on all three brands, whether it's Raw, SmackDown, NXT. And this is something that we're going to have to get used to. I don't know why it's so consistent lately, but the men really need to step it up. Because when you got women like Bianca Belair and Nikki Cross going out there tearing the house down, you know, it's not really a shock to me, but to some of you fucking people out there, it may be like, what the fuck? Why are the women so much better than the men? Look at who's in the ring. These are two of WWE's best, period. I expect nothing less from both of these women. Bianca wins with the KOD. This was great. Towards the end of this thing, fast forward a little bit, we had both women just going back and forth on one another, trading blows. Cross charges into the corner, hits the ring post. Bianca moves out of the way. Cross rolls her up for a 2 count. After that, big forearm to Cross by Bianca Belair, right on Cross's chest. That sends her flying to the mat. Belair then jams her shoulder right into Nikki Cross, slaps her across the face, sits her on the top rope. Cross shoves her away, and Cross comes off with a cross body, but she missed. Bianca seen an opening, went right for the KOD. 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Bianca Belair is still undefeated. And now she has a nice little wave of momentum going on into Phoenix against Shayna Baszler. That's a whole nother topic that I'm going to talk about for a little bit here, but we're going to dive into that when we get into the predictions in the coming weeks for TakeOver Phoenix. Now, what do you do with Bianca Belair against Shayna Baszler, right? You got two heels. You got two heels in this situation. I've been saying that Shayna Baszler is getting called up for the last 3 months, and nothing has happened yet. I don't want to say it again for a third time and have it not happen. I honestly, at this juncture, do not see Bianca Belair beating Shayna Baszler for the title, but I also, at the same time, don't see Bianca Belair losing where she is no longer undefeated. Some sort of interference, maybe from the horsewomen or something along those lines, a DQ, a count out, whatever WWE wants to book that day or whatever they're feeling. I just don't see Shayna Baszler losing the championship yet, but it does open up the possibility to get that title off of Shayna, put her on SmackDown Live or Monday Night Raw, wherever she goes. Most of the time, we're always going to say SmackDown Live because everybody that goes to Monday Night Raw is nothing but fresh meat for Ronda Rousey. But Shayna Baszler getting moved to the main roster seems like the logical choice here. And if Bianca wins the championship, it's only going to solidify her and take her to the next level, and she is rising very, very quickly. Bianca can then have the title, a nice little run with it, and we can start seeing Bianca Belair versus Kairi Sane, Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai, Bianca Belair versus Io Shirai. So I would love to see those type of matches, and you're going to get a great women's championship run and matches with Bianca as the champion. Shayna has done everything she can with the title, and there's nothing more for her to do. So I said it back during Evolution. I don't know why they gave her the championship again. I would have kept it on Kairi, and I would have had Bianca beat Kairi for the title, and then Bianca move on to Io. But that's just me. You know, I know for a fact I talked about this, and I was talking about Bianca getting involved sooner rather than later. I just didn't realize, or I didn't really think or conceive the thought that Shayna would still be involved. I honestly thought Shayna would have been called up by now. After Survivor Series, I thought Shayna was getting called up. And I thought Bianca Belair and Kairi Sane was going to be the next natural progression in the women's division. That still may be where we're going, because Kairi Sane is due a rematch for her women's championship. Now, the antiquated rematch clause might not pose to be a problem on NXT. It's only Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live, but, you know, Bianca Belair and Kairi Sane is a natural progression right now for the women's division when Shayna is not there and moved on up to the main roster. So we'll see what happens, but Bianca is going to be a superstar. I am monitoring her left and right. She's going to be great. Can't wait to see her continue to improve and hone in on her craft, and it's going to be an amazing thing to see, man. That's the one thing I love about NXT. It's watching these men and women mature to a point where you know that they're fucking ready to move to that next level. Bianca is certainly on her way there faster than anybody. Fabien Eichner and Marcel Barthel versus Hector Kunzman and Stanley Watts. Now, I was pleased to see Fabien Eichner and Marcel Barthel because I've seen them on NXT UK. The European Union, I believe, is what Mauro Ranallo or Nigel McGuinness, one of them, said these guys were calling themselves. The European Union. Now, if there's one thing I don't like about these guys, is the fact that they look very, very generic. Yes, they got matching trunks and they got matching colors. Yes, that's a key aspect to making them look like a legit tag team. But the black trunks make them look overly boring. You're not going to present these guys to Vince McMahon wearing those trunks. This is not the 1980s. You got to have something that's going to make them stand out. They come out looking like the Bar used to when they were wearing those fucking leather jackets back in the day when they were first assembled. And now they're a little bit more charismatic. They're a little bit more honed in as a team. But they reminded me of the Bar. They reminded me of what we see on SmackDown Live with Sheamus and Cesaro. And honestly, to be perfectly honest with you, I was imagining what these two guys would do in the ring with Sheamus and Cesaro. Just based off their look. They remind me of NXT's version of Sheamus and Cesaro. That's what they remind me of. But needless to say, I was very, very shocked the fact that Kunzman and Stanley Watts, Hector Kunzman and Stanley Watts, got so much offense in this match. I don't know why. And I'm thinking to myself, these guys are fucking bumps. Seriously fucking bumps. The smaller guy, the one wearing the pink tights, I don't know who was who the fuck was who here, but the smaller guy, the one in the pink tights, he was getting so much offense in. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? I really didn't know what was going on. I don't know if it was some sort of storyline where they're a new team, Fabien Eichner and Marcel Barthel, where they're not really gelling all that cohesively as a team. They should have came out here and destroyed these fucking guys. Fabien Eichner was Evolve champion a couple months back. And Marcel Barthel has been lighting up in the UK. So I don't know why these guys struggled the way that they did at certain points in this match with these two job guys. I would have loved to seen a squash. I love squash matches like this. It opens you up to seeing what these guys are made of and what their moveset is. But the intensity from Marcel Barthel and Fabien Eichner is fucking top notch, man. I love the physicality and the intensity. It's got that European strong style feel here in Full Sail. I absolutely loved it. I'm expecting big things from these guys, whether they're tag team champions over in the UK or they're coming on over here and they're going to be a threat to the NXT US tag team division. These guys got a nice fucking team going here, and this is a duo that I'm going to keep a very, very close eye on, man. I'm a big fan of Fabien Eichner. The guy is fucking impressive. The way he's transformed himself from from the inaugural Cruiserweight Classic, I hope we see another one eventually. He was in the Cruiserweight Classic, and he was a lot smaller than we see him here today. And he's transformed himself. He put on a lot of muscle. He's pretty much transformed himself into a heavyweight, and he's been great. He's been absolutely great. He was in the ring with Ricochet. He was in the ring with a lot of guys. Just giving you 3-4 minute spurts of, enhancement matches, but the guy was no fucking pushover, man. The guy was impressing the fucking hell out of you. And like I said, he went over to Evolve. He beat whoever their world champion was. He became their world champion before Austin Theory beat him for the world championship. The guy's impressive. The guy is absolutely impressive. And Marcel Barthel makes a nice duo with Fabien Eichner. And like I said, I'm expecting big things from them, whether it be in the UK or the US. They won with what was, it looked like a power bomb into a German suplex combination move. Whoever it was, I believe the smaller guy, I don't know who the fuck it was or what his name was, but the guy got dumped right on top of his head. The guy was folded into a fucking burrito. He was so small, he just fucking flipped over, completely dominated in the end of this thing. And Fabien Eichner wins with Marcel Barthel via pinfall, the European Union here on NXT. Kathy Kelly is backstage and says that both Black and Ciampa were removed from the building. They were kicked out of Full Sail. Ricochet walks by and says that he wants Gargano at TakeOver, no matter if William Regal makes the match or not. He will end Johnny. I doubt it, Ricochet, because you're talking about the greatest performer during any TakeOver, period. You're talking about Mr. TakeOver, Johnny Gargano. It's not going to be a walk in the fucking park, Ricochet. Cassius Ohno destroyed Matt Riddle last week after losing a second match to Riddle. They highlighted that. Commentary said Riddle has not yet been medically cleared to come back to in-ring competition since that attack. We had Keith Lee asked about what he thought of Ohno's attack on Riddle. Lee says the attack was unsettling and wanted Ohno to show up next week to learn about what respect means. And then he finished off saying that Ohno will bask in his glory, man. That should be pretty exciting. Keith Lee versus Cassius Ohno, man. I'm excited about that. EC3 versus Adam Cole with the rest of Undisputed Era in the main event. Not really all that exciting here. Very academic, just like EC3's moveset. It's very basic and very academic. I'm going to say it here again before he moves into the Royal Rumble, and I'm assuming he's going to come out at number 3. Because it's EC3. I don't put anything past WWE because they're a bunch of fucking clowns. EC3 is very academic in his moveset, man. This match was made by Adam Cole. So whatever good or positive came out of this match is by Adam Cole. EC3's got the look. EC3's got the body type. EC3's got the entrance and the theme music. That's all great. He's charismatic. But I never seen anything special to the Impact elitists out there who want to fucking rant and rave about how great Bobby Trashley was in Impact Wrestling. He was still garbage. I don't give a shit what he did over there or who he wrestled or what he said or what he looked like or how many fucking worthless championships he held at the same time. EC3 did nothing over there to impress me, period. He came over to WWE, and they really haven't done anything with EC3 in NXT. I'm looking at EC3 and I'm hearing cheers from the crowd. He's got this baby face reaction. Why? I look at EC3 and I look at cocky, pompous prick. That's what I look at. Well, that's what I'm looking at when I look at EC3. Put the guy in a suit, pair him up with Almas and Samoa Joe, and give me a fucking stable on SmackDown Live. Seriously. I pitched that idea with Orton, Joe, and Almas. A new version of the Four Horsemen. Something like that. Put them together. It's something that needs to happen. It's something that needs to happen. EC3, as a babyface, has done absolutely nothing for the entirety of his run at Full Sail. Nothing. He hasn't had a good match outside the ladder match. Nothing memorable about what he's done. His moveset is fucking basic as all hell. He ain't going to get over with what he does in the ring. So what is it? What exactly am I looking at? What am I supposed to be excited about when I look at EC3? I can't figure it out. And I'm sure you guys think the same thing. EC3 here is about to get called up to the main roster. I don't know where he's going. Apparently, he had a dark match on Monday, right before Raw, with Lacey Evans. Both of them debuted on Main Event. Now I'm hearing that it might not air on Main Event, that it was just a trial and error run. Just to get them, I guess, acquainted with the main roster and how things are done on Monday Night Raw. But there was nothing special about this match. Undisputed Era looked good here until the end. EC3, with a big clothesline, covers Cole, only a 2 count. Cole looks for a cross arm breaker. EC3 with a deadlift powerbomb. Undisputed Era with a nice distraction on the outside. EC3 tries to fight them off, but can't. Cole comes in with a super kick. Last shot to the back of the head. 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Undisputed Era helps Adam Cole defeat EC3 at Full Sail on NXT. Post-match, Undisputed Era gang up on EC3. Out come the War Raiders, and they save the day. They go right after Undisputed Era. The group tries the numbers game on them, and nothing worked. In the ring, Hanson cartwheels away. For a man like that, he's cartwheeling away from the Undisputed Era. I don't know whether to be impressed or just laugh that the Undisputed Era can't catch a fucking human bulldozer cartwheeling away. He disposes of both Roderick Strong and Kyle O'Reilly. Rowe with a double powerbomb on Strong and Fish. And at the end, I don't know what the fuck was happening here. I believe Hanson threw one of the members of Undisputed Era. It may have been Bobby Fish. I don't know who was in which position, but he had one guy on his shoulders in a powerbomb position, and one guy he was holding in a power slam position, and he slammed both guys down. Impressive. Very impressive. Roland picks O'Reilly up, and they hit their leg drop side suplex combination on them. I don't know what their finishing move is. I keep forgetting it. If you guys have told me in the past before, I don't know what it's called, but it's a legit tag team finisher, which is nice to see. They took care of Kyle O'Reilly. Undisputed Era all retreat. They gather on the stage, and the War Raiders are coming for the NXT Tag Team Championships. Match is official. Our championship matches are official for TakeOver, folks. We got the Tag Team Championship match, the War Raiders versus Undisputed Era, Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong. We have the NXT Championship match with Tommaso Ciampa and Aleister Black, I was going to say the United States, the North American Championship, Ricochet versus Johnny Gargano, and then Shayna Baszler versus Bianca Bel-Air for the Women's Championship. I don't know what else could possibly be added. Adam Cole is not on this TakeOver, which is very surprising to me. Very surprising. But then again, at the same time, it's not that surprising because look at how deep NXT's roster is. For someone like Adam Cole to be left off of TakeOver Phoenix, that's not a bad thing to think about. It's not a bad thing to say either. That's just how impressive NXT's roster is. Maybe he shows up in the Royal Rumble. I have no fucking idea. He was in the Royal Rumble last year. Why not? Why not? Anyway, man, NXT was a very good show. We're on the road to Phoenix. It's going to be great. I can't wait to see how everything just transpires at the end of the month in Phoenix Royal Rumble weekend. If you guys missed what I uploaded earlier today, we did an off-the-script special extra episode where we talk about All Elite Wrestling. They are declaring war with WWE, Chris Jericho, Neville. We have MJF, Joey Janela, Britt Baker, Penelope Ford, SCU, all announced for the AEW roster and a bunch of information coming out of that press conference, including the Double or Nothing event in Las Vegas, May 25th. It's going to be great. I'm going to try and end up being there if I can. But if you guys want my thoughts on everything regarding the AEW press rally, fan rally, Jericho, WWE being very salty. They took him out of the intro. They took him off WWE alum on WWE.com, the roster alum page. WWE is really, really, really showing you that they are petty as fuck. And we go over everything, including a nice little rant on all the fans that want AEW to fail already, or the fans deeming AEW a failure already, and that it's going to end up like WCW or Impact Wrestling under the regime of Dixie Carter. So we'll see what happens with that. But if you guys want to go check that out, it's live. It was uploaded today. Go and check it out. I'll leave you guys a link in the annotation. Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live podcast, they are live as well. Go and check that stuff out if you have not done so already. Becky Lynch versus Asuka announced for the Royal Rumble. I give my full thoughts on all of that, plus all the great happenings on SmackDown Live as well. And Monday Night Raw, well, show was fucking garbage. What else do you want me to say about Monday Night Raw? But if you enjoyed this NXT podcast, man, hit that thumbs up, and I will see you all right back here on Off the Script on Friday afternoon, episode 256. More AEW news, more Royal Rumble news. We're going to go over it all to conclude the weekend, man. Thank you so very much. Hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you right back here on Friday for Off the Script.